UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship kicked its new season off in the European City of Sport for 2019, Portimao, Portugal, which hosted its first ever UIM-ABP event, the Grand Prix of Portugal. Over 70 riders from 26 countries did battle in 6 categories: the Ski Division GP1, the Ski Ladies GP1, the Freestyle, and the Runabout GP1, as well as the Ski GP Junior 3.3 and the Ski Junior 3.2 events. In this program, we look at all the Runabout GP1 and Freestyle action from the Grand Prix of Portugal weekend. Located in the Algarve region, Portimao is one of the most spectacular corners of Portugal, a fun-filled tourism destination with all the sun, sea, and surf you can ask for, attracting visitors from all over Europe, a region crowned by the Atlantic beach of Praia da Roca, one of Portugal's top tourist resorts. A historic fishing town, Portimao lives and breathes at one with the sea. The breathtaking coastline is overlooked by towering cliffs and rocky shores, with sandy beaches that stretch out as far as the eye can see. And it's not just humans who are drawn to the area, but also storks, the Algarve region being a major migration route for these graceful birds. Portimao is renowned for its fresh and delectable cuisine, with seafood fresh out of the sea and onto the plate. Its fish restaurants famous throughout the country. Portimao is also a fantastic shopping destination, crowned with a cathedral and attracting people to the many concerts and festivals held throughout the year. There could be no more fitting place to kick off a young, dynamic and fast-growing sport like Aquabike than in the European City of Sport, a city that lives and breathes with a sea. Visitors and spectators and fans alike descended on the Grand Prix of Portugal to meet and greet the riders, watch them train and prepare, and take in this UIM-ABP weekend festival along the banks of the Arad River, marking the 25th season of the UIM-ABP Tour. The Grand Prix of Portugal runabout circuit is bigger than usual, raced on fresh, flat water, where riders will have to deal with the Arad currents and swells as conditions get choppier with every lap.
We will see. I only got a few laps. It's a fast track for sure, one part of it. The other part right here in the front is a little bit more tight. It looks flat, but it will get choppy after a few laps.
Now the conditions are like calm, but they will get very bad during the weekend, as there will be a lot of wind, and 23 pilots in the water will make it difficult.
The Runabout GP1 boasts the biggest, fastest, meanest, most powerful skis and is the blue ribbon event in a UIM-ABP Grand Prix. This year there are over 20 riders from dozens of countries competing in Portimao. This year sees a brand new defending world champion, Jeremy Perez of France, who after 10 years of trying and on so many occasions coming so close, finally realized his dream of becoming the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Champion last season.
Last year was good. I won the championship. It was fantastic for me, and we are here in Portimao, and we tried to get the maximum of points that we can do. But we work a lot this summer for try to make something very good, and we think to be ready for the race.
Now he needs to defend his title in 2019, and he wants to kick his campaign off with a win in Portimao. Standing in Perez's way is once again Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait, a 4-time world champion who is second only to Perez in 2018. He's determined for an unprecedented 5th world title and knows that every moto will be crucial.
As usual, we trained very hard for the season. This year it's a five-round championship, a new location in Portugal. We're excited about the place. It's a very technical course, and we did the practice. It was very nice, and we do some adjustment to the ski, and then we will see how it goes after the pole position.
Despite the absence of last year's world number 3, Lars Åkerblom of Sweden, there is still a ton of talent that is capable and ready to rain on Perez and Al Abdulrazak's parade. One such rider who has had brilliant moments but suffered from erratic technical issues is contracted rider Rashid Al Tayer of the UAE. The Abu Dhabi native has led races on numerous occasions and shown he has the skill and talent to go all the way if only his ski and engine would hold up. While Ackerblom may be absent, there are other Swedes who can fill his shoes, including the father-son team of Johan and Samuel Johansson. Other riders to look out for include Christoph Agostinho of Portugal, the Polish ace Andrzej Wisniewski, Danish rider and former Grand Prix winner Marcus Jorgensen, Estonian Anton Pankratov, and the newest addition to the runabout circuit, the first ever female runabout rider, Miami-based Colombian Andrea Dominguez.
Okay, I really feel really good because it's one dream that I have like 15 years ago. So when the organization Aquabike called me and say, okay, Andrea, let's do it and be the first woman to compete in GP1, I just say yes because the world needs more women that be more stronger. The idea that the organization have is make a category of women GP1, so every woman can do that. We can whatever that he wants. So let's do it and let's start. And we make a women's category in GP1.
With 23 riders from 16 countries competing, the Runabout GP1 was one of the most anticipated categories in Portimao as crowds flocked to watch the awesome spectacle. In pole position would be Yusuf Al Abdulrazak, the Kuwaiti beating Jeremy Perez in P2 by a second. In P3 would be Samuel Johansson, then Rashid Altair in P4, and Rasmus Koch Hansen of Denmark in P5. Then former world champion Mattia Fracasso P6, followed by Andrzej Wisniewski, Christoph Agostinho, Johan Johansson, and Roberto Alexander. There were two false starts to Moto 1, with Jan Jensen incurring a leg injury in a collision and withdrawing from the race as 22 riders were left to prepare for the start of Moto 1. Officials gathered the riders to go over start procedures on the pontoon, after which they took back to the water. This time, it's a success. Moto 1 of the Grand Prix of Portugal is on. The season is underway. What a start from Rashid Altair, the Emirati flying up ahead to lead the field from P4. There's an incident just behind us. Jeremy Perez collides with Rasmus Koch Hansen, and Hansen is in the water. He will be disqualified for not staying in his starting line. Rashid Altair leads the field into the alternate parallel course. Yusuf Al Abdulrazak seeing if he can outslalom the Emirati and take the lead here in the opening lap. But Rashid Altair is too fast. He comes out of the alternate course with lead intact as Al Abdulrazak gives chase, the Kuwaiti four-time world champion and current world runner-up and world rankings leader, giving it all he has to catch Altair. Behind the two leading Gulf Arab riders is the defending world champion Jeremy Perez in third, followed by Swedish youngster Samuel Johansson in fourth, holding his own out there among the veterans and champions, with Andrzej Wisniewski behind him in fifth position. Out in the lead, it's all Rashid Altair. He has great speed as he enters the blue track of the alternate course, with Yusuf Al Abdulrazak on his tail, also in the blue. Altair has led races in the early stages before, but he has never been able to carry his position through to the end of a race, often succumbing to technical issues, but can he do it here? As Al Abdulrazak gives chase to Altair, he suddenly finds himself under pressure from the hard-charging Jeremy Perez, who has snuck up behind the Kuwaiti, trying to wrest second position from him. That is incredible speed from Jeremy Perez, but Yusuf Al Abdulrazak appears to be slowing. He seems to have a problem as Perez zooms past his world title rival to take second position as Al Abdulrazak drops back. Jeremy Perez then has his sights set on catching and overhauling Rashid Altair, but the Emirati is very fast and there is quite a bit of water to cover between them. A battle unfolds for fifth place as number 76 rider Anton Pankratov of Estonia takes the fight to Portuguese rider Christoph Agostinho in these churning rough waters. And the Estonian does it. He overtakes the Portuguese rider in the alternate course, coming out in fifth position. Rashid Altair still maintaining his excellent speed, consistency, and momentum. No hiccups for the Emirati. Can he get his first moto win in the UIM-ABP series here in Portimao? But if he's to do that, he's going to have to fend off Jeremy Perez, who's on a mission to catch Altair. The gap between them closing every lap as the world champion goes all out here in Moto 1. And behind Perez is number 4 rider Samuel Johansson in third position in just his second year on the UIM-ABP Tour and already racing up there with the big names. Bad luck for former world champion Mattia Fracasso of Italy. His race comes to a premature end, and he is not happy about it. The drama building up in the lead as Jeremy Perez reduces the gap with Rashid Altair as they enter the alternate track. Altair in the blue track, Jeremy Perez in the green. Can the Frenchman slalom his way into the lead here? They go fast and tight through those turns. Rashid Altair comes out of the course with lead intact, but just look at the speed on Jeremy Perez. The Frenchman is gaining fast on the Emirati. Altair takes the turn way too wide, and Perez seizes the opportunity, cutting through on the inside of that turn to take the lead from Rashid Altair. Perez racing like a true champion, showing everyone just why he is the world champion. What a race from Jeremy Perez, with his biggest rival Yusuf Al Abdulrazak dropping back with technical issues. He still had to race hard to catch and overhaul Rashid Altair, who, despite relinquishing his lead toward the end, still held firm and raced brilliantly in second. Another best ever result for the young Samuel Johansson, who comes in third to reap 20 points from Moto 1, just ahead of Polish rider Wisniewski in fourth, then Agostinho fifth, followed by Marcus Jorgensen sixth, with Pankratov, Samuel's father Johan Johansson, Lorenzo Benaglia, and Roberto Alexander completing the top 10. Al Abdulrazak managing 17th position for 4 points.
I feel good, I'm very happy. I start third, Youssef have some trouble, and after I try to keep slowly and to stay behind Altair, and in one moment I said, okay, try to pass him, and I push 2 laps, and I pass him and very happy, and I stay focused for the second moto, but already I take 25 points, and it's good for the championship.
One of the most popular and exciting categories in the world of aquabike is without a doubt the freestyle, a graceful dance on water where riders produce an array of aerial and aquatic acrobatics that demand great skill and strength, not to mention the ability to control and channel exceptional amounts of power from their specially designed custom-fitted skis. The big name in freestyle would again be Team Abu Dhabi's Rashid Al Mullah of the UAE, who had notched up 10 moto wins and won 3 Grand Prix titles on the UIM-ABP circuit before sweeping all before him in 2018, winning all 7 motos and 3 Grand Prix last season in one of the most awesome displays of dominance in the category in years. Rashid Al Mullah was the favorite for the world title in 2018, but he would have stiff competition from the likes of 2017 European champion and world #1 ranked rider Roberto Mariani of Italy, Portuguese ace Paulo Nunes, Czech rider Jaroslav Turner, Belgian newcomer Willems Niels, and 3 Russian riders Alexander Kuramshin, Sergei Chemezov, and Vladislav Vorobev, filling out the 8-man freestyle field in Portimao.
I'm very excited about the UIM World Championship. It's my first time competing here. It looks awesome, awesome organization, awesome pilots. So yeah, I'm really happy to compete this year in the championship. Freestyle is all about fun, and then the competition, yeah, it's on second place. First of all, I want to make an awesome show with the other freestylers, and then we will see what the future brings.
Vladislav Vorobev was a newcomer to the UIM-ABP Tour. He went out giving it his best over the 2 motos. Portuguese rider Paulo Nunes was solid, good in terms of flow and dynamism, producing a busy routine that went flat out for the full 3 minutes in both motos. Alexander Kuramshin put out an excellent repertoire to score the points he needed to get in ahead of Paulo Nunes of Portugal, producing a flurry of tricks to challenge the field for the title in Portimao. Willems Niels was also a newcomer to the UIM-ABP Tour. The Belgian produced a flurry of tricks, combos, and series, showing he had prospects as a real contender on the tour. Jaroslav Turner executed a solid routine with some good combos and a series of impressive backflips, the Czech Aquabike pushing for a podium in both motos. But Turner was bested by Sergei Chemezov, the Russian, marking his return to UIM-ABP competition with some perfectly executed backflips and some good solid combos and good technique overall over the two motos, despite the rough and churning waters, which he knew how to turn to his advantage in Moto 2 for a podium finish. Italian and former European champion Roberto Mariani knew how to whip up support from the fans along the Arad as he once again stepped up to the challenge and put it all out there with a very powerful and flamboyant routine, ending with his signature unique moves, leaving all in his wake except one man, Rashid Al-Mullah. And then never slowed down, producing a masterful display of acrobatic brilliance that once again left the field behind and the crowd applauding for more. Al-Mullah has incredible power in that ski, and none of the other contenders can get that kind of air into their routines as he capped two winning performances off with a dizzying string of backflip series that were second to none. The Emirati ace continued his unbeaten run with an incredible flurry of tricks, producing big air, lots of spectacular stunts, drawing the oohs and ahs from the crowd as he extended his streak of moto wins and took maximum 25 points from both motos to win the Grand Prix of Portugal title in Portimao. Al-Mullah once again unbeaten, Roberto Mariani runner-up to the Emirati yet again, and a great third place and podium result for Sergei Chemezov of Russia, just beating Yaroslav Turner in fourth, then Niels Kramshin, Nunes 7th, and Vladislav Vorobev 8th.
I feel so good, and the race it was good. Yesterday it was flat and today it was windy, like we play like a free ride, and I'm so happy.
In the parallel night slalom, Rashid Al-Tayer took revenge and made up for the disappointment of being edged into second place by Jeremy Perez in Moto 1 earlier in the day, beating him 2-0, then winning the decisive third run in the final against 17-year-old Samuel Johansson with a heavyweight third place race-off between Perez and Yusuf Al-Abdulrazak, going to Al-Abdulrazak. The following day, winds were up, the seas were choppy, riders had to prepare for a rough race and challenging conditions in the second and decisive moto of the Grand Prix of Portugal. Jan Jensen was recovered and ready to race the next day after his Moto 1 crash.
A little bit pain everywhere in the body. It was actually quite big accident, but most of the legs was the problem, but nothing broken, so we are ready again.
With his Moto 1 victory, Jeremy Perez would start the race in pole position with Al-Tayer beside him. And the race begins. Great start from Rashid Al-Tayer yet again as he shoots into the lead on the starting straightaway to the green hole shots. Jeremy Perez struggling to keep up. Look at that speed. Rashid Al-Tayer will be first into the circuit as he leads the other four riders in the first start group through the hole shots. Perez using that inside lane to his advantage to hold on to second behind Al-Tayer. As the field enters the alternate course, Rashid Al-Tayer is exceptionally fast. He looks like he won't have any trouble holding his lead here in the green track as he comes out and past the separator sausage buoy with no other riders in sight. Coming out of the alternate track in second position is Jeremy Perez, then Samuel Johansson in third, followed by Christoph Augustinho fourth, Wisniewski fifth, and Anton Pankratov in sixth in this 25 minutes plus one lap race as Jeremy Perez tries to keep Rashid Al-Tayer within sight while trying to hold off the highly talented riders behind him, a formidable mix of experience and youth. With his unfortunate 17th place result in Moto 1, Yusuf Al-Abdulrazak has started at the back, and the Kuwaiti is trying to make his way up the field one position at a time, trying to make what he can of this Grand Prix before setting his sights on round 2 in Olbia. It's a technical and tight circuit with rough conditions and a crowded field, which will make moving up and passing other riders extra challenging. But if anyone could do it, it's Al-Abdulrazak. And the Kuwaiti is already up a few positions and rising as Al-Abdulrazak passes Johan Johansson and then overhauls Lorenzo Benaglia to move up into 10th position. As Abdulrazak continues his surge, there's a string of breakdowns. First, Italian veteran and former world number 3 Lorenzo Benaglia is out. Then number 26 Spaniard Roberto Alexander is out of the race. Meanwhile, Abdulrazak continues his charge up the ranks as he passes Danish rider Markus Jorgensen to move up into 8th, where he sets his sights on Mattia Fracasso. Another breakdown. This time it's Rasmus Koch Hansen who's out of the running. Abdulrazak continues to wreak havoc, first passing Mattia Fracasso and then overhauling Anton Pankratov, and the Kuwaiti finds himself in 6th position with some fantastic racing. But Abdulrazak's surge takes a hit as he goes for the black penalty buoy, and Anton Pankratov reclaims 6th position from the Kuwaiti. But Abdulrazak is on the warpath. He does not give up or give in as he continues his dogged pursuit, and his persistence pays off as he once again overtakes Pankratov to move into 6th. Then the Kuwaiti finds Wisniewski in 5th, giving chase to the Polish rider and eventually overhauling Wisniewski as the Kuwaiti finds himself in 5th position. Up in the lead, Rashid Altair once again putting in a brilliant race as he holds on. This time he wants to hold off Jeremy Perez in 2nd to get his first ever moto win, which would also give him the Grand Prix of Portugal title. In 3rd position is the teenage sensation Samuel Johansson, going strong and on track for an overall Grand Prix 3rd place if he can hold point till the end of Moto 2. Abdulrazak's hard-charging run came to a bitter end, however, as the Kuwaiti, who had risen all the way up to 5th after some brilliant racing, found himself once again break down on the circuit. A cruel blow for him, and he's bitterly disappointed. A sad sight there as the Kuwaiti 4-time world champion is towed off the circuit. Heading into the last lap, could Rashid Altair do it? His Team Abu Dhabi teammates on the edge of their seats. Will Altair get a first ever Moto and Grand Prix win here in Portimao? Can Jeremy Perez still make a last minute charge to snatch the Moto and Grand Prix win from Altair? But Altair makes no mistakes. He has it. The Emirati is the Moto 2 and Grand Prix of Portugal champion. Jeremy Perez runner-up in Moto 2, and even though he has equal points from the Grand Prix as Altair, Moto 2 results take precedence in the overall Grand Prix standings. Great result also for Samuel Johansson. The 17-year-old nabs 3rd and is on his first ever UIM-ABP podium. 4th place in Moto 2 goes to Mattia Fracasso, then Wisniewski 5th, followed by Agostinho 6th, Jorgensen 7th, Pankratov 8th, Patrick Agostinho 9th, and Johan Johansson 10th, with Abdulrazak ending in 18th.
Got to mechanic to make my boat more stable in this weather, and I test my boat to be very good, and will start the race. I'll take the whole shot, and I will lead the race. After that, it's too hard to pass anybody, but I lead the race. I keep my boat safe until then.
The overall Grand Prix results sees Altair on the top step, Jeremy Perez runner-up, and Samuel Johansson 3rd, with Wisniewski 4th, then Christoph Agostinho 5th. With 47 points apiece, Altair and Perez are tied atop the world standings going into the 2nd round in Italy. That brings to a close the opening round of the 25th UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championships in Portimao, Portugal. See you in Olbia, Italy for round 2.